Hey guys, it's Oscar again here over at Nikkyo Cars in Japan, and we got something really nice for you today. We have a 2008 Nissan GTR Black Edition. This car was considered the cheapest supercar when it first came out. You know, this is an iconic car, beautiful car. We'll show you around today. Performance, great. I mean, there are no words to describe how good this car is. So stick around. I hope that you guys enjoy this video. All right, guys, so as I mentioned earlier, this is a 2008 Nissan GTR Black Edition. When it first came out, this car was considered to be the best, top of the line. To prove that, this car was taken actually to Germany, to the circuit of Nürburgring, where it beat the current holder at the time, which was a Porsche 911. So this car, at that time, surpassed one of the top performers, you know, one of the best of the best. So it became the best. Now this car comes equipped with a 3800cc V6 twin turbo engine. So it's got a lot of power. It's got 485 horsepower, 434 pounds of torque, and a 6-speed sequential clutchless transmission. Now, quick note on this one, the 2021 Nissan GTR Nismo actually comes with 600 horsepower. Now just imagine what that even feels like. That is crazy. Another thing to point out, now because of the engine and because of the high performance, you know, all of these things down here are actually functional. You see it in many of the cars, you know, they just have them for looks. Not in this case. In this case, these air ducts down there actually help to keep the engine cool so that it can perform at its best. All right, guys, so now we did mention the performance of the engine on this car, but we also need to talk about the tires that this car uses. Now, the tires of this car, 255 by 40. That is the size this car uses. As you can see, it is a very wide tire, and of course it is needed for the amount of power this car produces, right? So that is something that's worth mentioning. Now, we also need to talk about the wheels and the brakes. This comes with 20-inch alloy wheels right there. And, you know, again, this car is so high performance. It is a beast to drive around, but you do need to stop that beast occasionally, correct? In order to do that, this car comes equipped with high performance Brembo brakes. Now, the front brakes are, the diameter of the rotor itself is 15 by 1.3. And what I mean by diameter, so I'm talking about the rotors right there. So we're going to talk about the rear wheels in a little bit. And I need you to understand that there is a bit of a difference there. And that is because of the high performance of this car, right? But before we go to the back, I would like to mention the air vents on this side, just like the ones on the front, are also functional. Again, we do need to keep the engine cool. So they actually do serve a purpose. All right, so now we are in the rear of the car, and as I mentioned earlier, there is a slight difference when it comes to the tires. First of all, the size of the tire itself. This is 285 wide by 35. So it is slightly wider, if you will. So the wheels are the same size, so we're still talking 20-inch wheels. The brakes, of course, Brembo brakes, just like in the front, but the diameter of the rotor is 15 by 1.2, so there's a 0.1 difference between the front and the back. Now this comes by design from factory. This is how it was made. This is how you achieve top performance with this car. All right, so now we are inside the vehicle, and I have to be honest with you, the interior, the finishing, may not be up to par. I just have to be honest with you. Maybe at the time it was considered good, but by our standards nowadays, you probably wouldn't be too excited about it, if you will. So that's that. But it still comes equipped with you got your steering wheel controllers here, cruise control, volume, etc., paddle shifters, all your speedometer gauges and whatnot here for the RPMs. So all that's all well and good. The cool thing about this car is that because it is such a high performance car, you need to keep track of many things. And for those of you who are car enthusiasts, you will understand oil pressures, boosts, etc., etc. Now, this apparently has no clocks to keep track of it. That is because this actually does it in a digital manner. How do you do that? The button right here called function will open up all the clocks for you to see. So once we click that, you can see right there the boost, transmission oil temperature, engine oil temperature. So you got that, and you can there are other settings you can look at. Again, boost, speed, consumption. There you go. So I just wasted some fuel there for you guys to see that. Hope that you enjoyed it. So and you can cycle through basically, as you can see. So you can choose what you want to see, when you want to see it. You got everything in there right there: oil pressure, water temperature, etc., etc. So as we switch through all of these, you can get a feel of what's going on with your car at all times. So that is that is one of the cool things about this car, that it has all of that. And of course, you've got your normal controllers here, AC, audio, and whatnot. Another cool thing on this one is you can control here the traction, the suspension, the tires. So you can use these settings also to regulate your car. So overall, I mean, the performance, this is all about performance. This car is all about performance. As I said, it is considered a supercar. So it is a beast. It is truly a beast. Alright guys, so now I've mentioned many times this car is a supercar. I think that fact is very clear to all of us. But this is a car that is also actually functional, right? Now, why do I bring that up? I need you to take a look at the trunk here. Look at this space. So, you're not just driving a supercar when you have this car. You can actually drive it daily. You can go to the grocery store and get some food, and you got the space to set it in there. So, when this car was designed, they really thought of everything. They made it accessible to anybody. So you can use it for your daily driver if you want, or you can just use it on the weekends. You have the freedom to do that. Unlike with many of the other supercars, Lamborghini, etc. And I'm not trying to knock on them, but you don't really have the space to do that. So anyway, this car truly is an amazing beast, but it's also a very, very, functional car. All right, guys. So now we are out doing a little test drive on the GTR. We're heading back to our yard. So just want you guys to get a feel for what this car feels like when you're driving it. So here I think we have a little bit of a chance. We're gonna give it a bit of power. You can feel it just throwing you back. The power in this car is just amazing. It truly is amazing. Now in terms of the handling, I do have to be honest with you. It does feel a bit stiff, but I don't think that is because of the design of the car itself. It is because this particular one needs a little bit of maintenance, to be up to par. So the handling's a bit stiff. The suspension does feel also a little bit stiff. But again, I do truly believe it's just because it just needs a little maintenance. Excuse me. Um, so yeah, handling stiff. The brakes are still okay, although I can feel the, again, and as you saw with the power, the wear of the tires. These tires will soon need to be changed. It does lack a bit of grip, so we will. That is something that need to be looked at. As we mentioned earlier, you can see the gauges right there for, you know, all the different settings there. Water temperature, the engine oil pressure, the temperature of the engine, boost, transmission oil pressure, fuel consumption. So it is very, very, very functional, and this car is just begging to go fast. That is one thing that I have to say. When you're driving this car, is just the moment you hit the accelerator, it's actually very soft at the beginning, right? But then as you start moving, it just asks you to go. So it is very tempting to open it up and just go. But overall, that would be my assessment of the car itself and what it feels like to drive it currently. So I really do hope that you guys are enjoying this. And if you have any questions or there's anything that you would like us to cover, please let us know. We'll be very happy to accommodate. All right, guys. I really hope you enjoy looking at this car with me. Um, if you have any questions, you want to know anything else, please leave us some comments down there. If there's any particular model you want us to do on our next videos, please let us know. We'll be more than happy to try and accommodate. We thank you. You've been leaving us some amazing comments recently, and we are very happy that you are enjoying some of the videos. There's some room for improvement. We're always open to hear any ideas, any suggestions you guys have. So, please subscribe to our channel. Please leave us some comments. Give us some pointers. Give us some suggestions, whatever you need. So we're always here to help.